So here we have a humbucker single Strat and a Walrus Audio Julia and a TC Electronic Skysurfer Reverb pedal. I'd probably go through the reverb first. Bring up that mix. That was the spring, this is the hall. Let's see what we can do with the hall and go a little crazier with it. Yeah, so there I actually turned the mix a lot up, and I wanted to go from a heavily affected tone versus, clean guitar with like verb behind it. Kind of wanted the effect to become more of the sound. That's why I just tried that. If the mix wasn't all the way up, it would kind of just sound like this. You'd hear more of the direct note, which is super cool too. It just depends on what you were trying to do, And then if you go all the way mix, this is all the way mix. So there's a little bit of lag in your playing, so you might have to compensate if you're playing with a band, but all right, so here's the Julia. I use this pedal a lot. Sometimes I use it for more of a classic chorus type thing. So maybe something like this. Let's see. Super slow. But actually, one of the ways I like to use a chorus pedal is to kind of make a faux, like, rotating speaker Leslie effect. So that would be. You can use the effect clean, if you want, for the Leslie, and kind of do that clean organ like, It's just a little more of a different thing. That'd probably have a spring on it if you did it that way, so maybe it would be like. I'm trying to mimic that kind of thing with the Leslie. So you can do it either way. I just kind of like more of a gritty. It just sounds a little more generic to my ears, clean. I like using it for more of a funkier lead thing, or just more funk dirty. I just like that edge. I use this kind of sound a lot when I play with the SNL band. Sometimes I use this kind of sound kind of with the more funky songs that we do, just to give it a little edge. I really like the drive channel on this amp when pushed. I think it is really nice, modern kind of vibe, which is cool. So that coupled with the humbucker, you really get your kind of full-on rock sound, which, you know, wasn't stereotypical for Strats, you know, back in the day. It wasn't really the thing. So this is more of a modern sounding edge gain kind of thing. So maybe more drive. Just with this type of guitar, a nice clean amp, and you know, having the drive option, and just a reverb and a chorus pedal, you really can kind of take it as far, well, pretty far, as you want to go. You can kind of go the classic route, classic chorus, slow chorus, you know, spring reverb, or you can just take it and make something a little weirder, which I would probably gravitate towards, because I like to do sounds that are a little less guitar sounding. So maybe something, so I'd probably just mess around with it, you know, and see what sounds good, and then start trying some ideas. I honestly just let the sound dictate where I go. I just kind of played with some knobs and was like, all right, well, where can we take this? And I kind of got to this sound that I thought in my head could be kind of cool. And I just hit like an open E string, and I just heard a vibe, and my reaction was just to like go into that idea. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I just kind of follow that. And I just play with the sounds and the pedals and the toys until I kind of get something that is just cool sounding to me. It doesn't have to be like the perfect thing or the right thing, but a thing that feels good. And then I just kind of go with it and just explore that sound. And how the sound is set will determine like how I play, what I play, style, like how I hit a note. Is it short? Is it long? How does it react? And that's kind of like what I'm experimenting with and going through as I do that, We have the amp set to a clean tone. We're gonna check out the difference between some of the pickups. Here's your bridge. To your neck. And maybe your stratty zone, your adaphasy. We're gonna check out the drive channel with the humbucker and the bridge, and we'll also try the classic adaphase. Here's the bridge. Clean. We'll kick on the Moore drive for some high leads. That's the bridge pickup. Now we're going to do the same thing with the neck. Let's try middle pickup. I personally like a little more drive when I'm doing leads because it just gives extra sustain. I am a type of player who likes to bend notes, and I like more legato stuff and holding notes for a while. So it gives me that extra, when in my head, like time in the air, you're bending and it kind of just holds the volume for you. If it's just clean, it could die out a little bit, so I can sustain a note for longer. And the guitar face. I wish I didn't have to do a guitar face when I would bend crazy notes, but it just happens. With the note comes the face. It's I can't change it. This is a really, really solid rig. I think this is something that you can cover your basics in a really powerful way. Just the two-channel situation on the amp is really useful. The fact that there's a reverb on the amp, so you can have a classic reverb there and dial in something funkier here, so you can kind of get a weird or ambient or spatial, whatever you want to call it. You can kind of take the reverb in a more interesting direction. And then the Julia, the chorus pedal, is really diverse because you have your vibrato, you can get your pitch bending, kind of wavy seasick thing. You can do straight up chorus, like The Police, that kind of stuff, and a lot in between, the Phil Leslie thing. So you really can do a lot, and especially with the humbucker single, you get everything from a Stratocaster's best, funk type of thing. It's throaty, warm sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan, overdrive blues, to your rock and roll humbucker thickness. It's really diverse.